Nobody in that big glass building knew who he really was. They only saw what was on the outside. They saw his old black shoes. The shoes had small cracks on the sides. They saw his cheap brown jacket. The zipper was half broken. They saw his simple pants, clean but old. To them, he did not look important. He walked slowly through the big front doors. The doors were shiny. The floor was so clean that it looked like a mirror. Rich people walked fast. They held phones. They wore suits. They smelled like expensive perfume. The man in the old jacket did not fit in. Some people looked at him and then looked away. Some people looked at him and smiled in a fake way. Some people whispered, "Why is he here?" One woman said in a low voice. "He looked lost." Another man said, "This place is not for people like him." Someone else whispered. He heard some of it, but he kept his face calm. Inside his heart, he felt the weight, but he did not show it. He walked to the front desk. The receptionist was a young woman. She had long nails. Her hair was perfect. She was typing fast on her computer. She did not look up. He stood there. 1 second, 2 seconds, 30 seconds. She still did not look at him. He cleared his throat softly. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said in a calm voice. "I need to ask about a meeting." She looked up slowly. Her eyes went from his shoes to his jacket, then to his face. Her smile changed. It became cold. "Do you have an appointment?" she asked. "Yes," he said. "I believe so." She clicked on her computer. Fast. Hard. Like she was already annoyed. "What is your name?" she asked. He told her his name. She looked at the screen. Then she looked at him again. "I don't see you," she said. Her tone was sharp. "Maybe check again," he said politely. "Sometimes." She cut him off. "Sir, if you don't have an appointment, you cannot just walk in," she said. "This is a busy place." Behind him, 2 men in suits laughed quietly. "Bro, he think this is a free office," one of them said. "Maybe he here to clean," the other said, smiling. The man in the jacket heard them. His hands stayed at his sides. His face stayed calm, but inside it hurt. A tall manager walked by. He stopped. He looked at the man from head to toe. "What's the problem here?" the manager asked. The receptionist pointed at him. "He says he has a meeting, but I don't see him in the system," she said. "I think he is confused." The manager raised his eyebrows. "Sir," the manager said, "this is a private business building. You can't just walk in like this." "I understand," the man said, "but I was told to come here today." The manager gave a small laugh. "Who told you that?" he asked. The man said a name. The manager's face changed for 1 second. Just 1 second. Then he smiled again. But this time the smile was not kind. "Listen," the manager said. "That person is very busy. He does not meet people without notice." The man nodded slowly. "I see," he said. People were now watching. Some with curiosity. Some with judgment. Some with quiet smiles. Security walked closer. Big man. Black suit. Earpiece. "Is there a problem?" security asked. The receptionist looked at the man like he was a problem. "He doesn't belong here," she said. Security looked at him. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to step aside," security said. The man looked around. He saw the faces, the eyes, the judgment. For a moment, he remembered his past. He remembered being young. He remembered being poor. He remembered people looking down on him. He remembered promises he made to himself. One promise was simple. Never let pride control your heart. He took a slow breath. "I will step aside," he said calmly. As he turned, someone laughed again. "Man, people really be trying anything," one worker said. He heard it. He felt it. But he did not react. He walked toward a quiet corner. He sat down. He looked at his hands. Strong hands. Hands that built something from nothing. Nobody there knew. Nobody there cared. To them, he was just another poor man in the wrong place. But inside his mind, he said something very different. They judge me today, but tomorrow, they will know. He looked at the building. He looked at the people, and a small, calm smile touched his face. Because the truth was simple. They were standing in his building, and they did not even know it yet. The man did not leave the building. He stayed, not because he was weak, but because he was patient. He sat in the quiet corner near the glass wall. People walked past him like he was invisible. Some did not even see him. Some saw him and chose to ignore him. Time passed. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 15 minutes. Nobody came to talk to him. 2 workers stood near the coffee area. They looked at him and laughed softly. "Why is he still here?" one of them said. He waiting for a miracle, the other replied. Man looked broke and stubborn. They laughed again. The man heard every word, but he stayed calm. He stood up slowly and walked back to the front desk. This time, the receptionist saw him coming and rolled her eyes. Yes, she said. What now? I just want to confirm, he said. I was told to meet someone here today. She leaned back in her chair. Sir, she said, louder now. I already told you. You're not on the list. People nearby started listening. A woman with a tablet stopped and watched. A man with a phone slowed his walk. Eyes were on him again. The man felt the heat of attention. I understand, he said, but maybe the system is wrong. The receptionist laughed. The system is not wrong, she said. People are wrong. That line hit harder than she knew. The tall manager came back. He looked annoyed now. You again, he said. Didn't security already talk to you? I'm not trying to cause trouble, the man said. I only want to speak with. The manager raised his hand. No, he said. You are wasting our time. His voice was louder, stronger, clear. This is a high-level business place, the manager continued. We deal with important people here. He looked at the man's jacket. You don't look like one of them. Silence. That sentence stayed in the air. The man felt it deep in his chest. You don't look like one of them. People around nodded. Some smiled. Some agreed in their minds. A young employee whispered to another. He should be thankful they even letting him sit here. Yeah, for real. The man looked at the floor for 1 second. Just 1 second. Then he lifted his head. I respect this place, he said. And I respect your time. The manager laughed. Respect, he said. Respect is earned. He leaned closer. And you haven't earned anything here. Security walked closer again. Sir, security said, you need to leave. The man looked at security, then at the manager, then at the receptionist. He saw 3 faces. No kindness, no paciencia, no respect, only judgment. He slowly reached into his pocket. The receptionist stepped back. Hey, don't try nothing, she said. He pulled out his phone. Old phone. Cracked screen. Simple case. Someone laughed. Man got that old phone too, one worker said. He unlocked the phone calmly. He did not call yet. He looked around first. He saw young workers who thought they were better. He saw managers who thought power was theirs forever. He saw people who judged a book by the cover. Inside his mind, his mother's voice came back. Son, she used to say, never fight small mind with anger. Let success speak. He took a slow breath. I will leave, he said quietly. The manager crossed his arms. Good, he said. That's the right choice. As the man turned to walk away, something inside him changed. Not anger, not hate. Focus. He stopped near the door. He turned back one last time. I will return, he said. People laughed. For what? Someone asked. To beg, another said. To clean, a third joked. The manager smiled. Sir, he said, people like you don't come back here. The man did not argue. He only said one calm sentence. Tomorrow morning, he said, you will see me again. The manager shook his head. Yeah, sure, he said. The man walked out. The big glass doors closed behind him. Outside, the air felt different. He stood still. Cars passed. People passed. Life moved. He looked up at the tall building. In his heart, there was no fear. Only certainty. He took out his phone again. This time, he made the call. The person on the other side answered fast. Yes, sir, the voice said. The man's voice was low. Calm. Strong. Prepare the team, he said. Tomorrow morning. 9 sharp. Yes, sir, the voice replied. Everything will be ready. He ended the call. He looked at the building again. They think they sent me away, he said inside. They think I am nobody. A small, controlled smile came to his face. But tomorrow, they will learn who I really am. The man did not go home angry. He went home focused. The small bus dropped him 2 blocks away. Not because he could not afford better, but because he wanted to stay unseen. He walked through a quiet street. Old buildings. Small shops. Dim lights. People sitting outside, talking, laughing, living simple life. This world felt real to him. He stopped in front of a small apartment building. Paint was old. Stairs were narrow. Nothing special. To anyone watching, he looked like a man struggling. He walked up the stairs. Slow steps. 3rd floor. Door 3 bay. Inside, the apartment was clean. Simple. No luxury. No gold. No big TV. Just a small table. A chair. A couch. A laptop bag near the wall. He took off his jacket and placed it carefully on the chair. For a moment, he stood still. Then everything changed. He opened the laptop. The screen lit up. Not normal emails. Not normal messages. The screen showed company reports. Board meeting notes. Investment charts. Contract worth million. His face changed. Not into anger. Not into pride. Into leadership. His phone vibrated. One message. Sir, the board is confirmed for tomorrow morning. Another message came. Security team ready. Media team on standby. Legal team standing by. He typed slowly. Good. Keep it quiet. He leaned back in the chair. In that small apartment, he was not small. He was the mind behind everything. Flashback hit him. Years ago, he remembered sleeping in his car. He remembered skipping meals. He remembered people laughing at his dreams. They said, "You will never make it. You too poor. You too slow. You too different." But he stayed. He learned. He built. He failed. He built again. While people slept, he worked. While people laughed, he planned. Now his company owned buildings, owned contracts, owned power. And that building from today, it was his biggest project. But nobody there knew him because he wanted to see truth. Not reports, not fake smiles, real behavior. How people treat someone they think is nothing. His phone rang. He answered. Yes, he said. A man on the other side spoke with respect. Sir, we can arrange a driver for tomorrow, the voice said. Black car. Full security. He looked at his old shoes near the door. Yes, he said, but keep it simple. No noise. No early calls. Yes, sir, the voice replied. Also, HR asked if they should prepare employee reviews. He paused. Not yet, he said. Let tomorrow speak first. He closed the call. He stood up and walked to a small mirror. He looked at his face. Strong. Tired. Focused. He touched the scar near his eyebrow. Old scar. From old life. From old struggle. He remembered a promise he made to himself. If I ever get power, I will use it to teach respect. Not to hurt. Not to show off. To correct. He sat back down. Another email came. Subject line. Owner arrival confirmation. 9 a.m. He stared at the word. Owner. A quiet smile came. Not a proud smile. A ready smile. He opened a folder. Inside were photos. Photos of the building staff. Photos of the manager. Photos of the receptionist. Photos of the security team. Names. Positions. Records. He already knew who they were. Now, he wanted to know who they really were. Not on paper, but in action. He closed the laptop slowly. The room went quiet. He sat in the dark for a moment. Tomorrow was not just a meeting. Tomorrow was a test. For them. For their hearts. For their respect. For their character. He lay down on the couch. Not in silk sheets. Not in a mansion. But in peace. Because he knew something they did not. They judged a poor-looking man. But they forgot one truth. Real power does not always wear a suit. Sometimes, it wears old shoes. His phone buzzed one last time. A short message. Everything is ready, sir. He closed his eyes. Good, he whispered. Because tomorrow morning, the building that rejected him would finally meet its real owner. Morning came fast. The city woke up. Cars filled the streets. People rushed to work. Coffee cups in hands. Phones to ears. Inside the big glass building, it was business as usual. The receptionist fixed her hair. The manager checked his watch. Workers laughed near the coffee machine. Yesterday felt like nothing. The poor-looking man was already forgotten. Man, you remember that broke dude from yesterday? One worker said, laughing. Yeah, another replied. Bro thought he had a meeting. The receptionist smiled. People really be brave, she said, walking into places they don't belong. The manager shook his head. Some people just don't know their place, he said. They laughed. None of them knew. This was the last time they would laugh like that. Outside, a black luxury car turned onto the street. Slow, quiet, clean. The car stopped in front of the building. People on the sidewalk noticed. Big car always gets attention. Security outside stood straight. The back door of the car did not open right away. Inside the building, people kept joking. He probably went home crying, someone said. I would. Another replied. Then, The outside security radio made a sound. The inside security looked at his radio. His face changed. Manager, he said. We got a special arrival. The manager frowned. What you mean special? He asked. Before security could answer, the front doors opened. But not fast. Slow. Heavy. Like something important was about to walk in. The receptionist looked up. The room went quiet. People turned their heads. Footsteps came. Strong. Calm. Confident. A man walked in. Sharp black suit. Clean white shirt. Simple black tie. Shiny shoes. For 1 second, nobody knew. Then, recognition hit. The receptionist's eyes went wide. The manager's smile froze. One worker dropped his coffee. It was him. The same man. The man they laughed at. The man they pushed away. The man they called nobody. But now, he looked different. Not just in clothes. In presence. He did not rush. He did not smile. He walked like someone who owned the air. Security stood straight. The manager walked forward, nervous smile on his face. Good morning, sir, the manager said. Welcome. The man looked at him. Just looked. Not angry. Not happy. Just calm. Good morning, he said. The receptionist stood up fast. I didn't know it was you, she said. He looked at her too. I know, he replied. That was all. Whispers started. That's him. That's the same guy. No way. That's crazy. People looked at his suit. At his watch. At his calm face. Yesterday's jokes felt heavy now. A man in a suit walked in behind him. Then another. Then another. Serious faces. Professional walk. Board members. Lawyers. Assistants. The lobby filled with quiet power. The manager started to sweat. Sir, the manager said, we were not informed. The man raised his hand. Not rude. Just firm. I was informed, he said. Silence. The receptionist swallowed. Her voice was small. Would you like me to? No, he said gently. I know where to go. He started walking toward the elevator. The same elevator he was told not to use yesterday. The same hallway he was told did not belong to him. People moved out of his way. Like water. Doors opened. The elevator dinged. As he stepped inside, he turned back. Just for one moment. He looked at the manager. You told me yesterday, he said calmly, that people like me don't come back here. The manager's face turned pale. Yes, sir, the manager whispered. The man nodded once. You were right, he said. Then he added, I didn't come back. Pause. I never left. The elevator doors closed. Inside the elevator, his team stood with him. Everything is ready, sir, one assistant said. He nodded. Good, he said. Back in the lobby, people stood in shock. The laughter was gone. The jokes were gone. Only fear. Only regret. The receptionist sat down slowly. He was right here, she whispered. The manager wiped his face. He was right here the whole time. Upstairs, the elevator stopped. The doors opened. A big boardroom waited. Lights on. Chairs ready. Nameplates set. At the head of the table. His name. Owner. He walked in. Not as a poor man. Not as a visitor. But as what he always was. The man in charge. And downstairs, they were only just starting to understand. They made the biggest mistake of their careers. The boardroom was silent. Not normal silence. Heavy silence. The kind of silence where every breath feels loud. The man stood at the head of the table. Big screen behind him. Company logo glowing. Lights bright. Board members sat straight. Assistants stood near the wall. Lawyers opened folders. The door closed slowly. Click. That sound felt final. Downstairs, the manager, the receptionist, and the workers waited. Nobody laughed now. Nobody joked. All eyes on the elevator screen. Waiting. Not knowing what would happen next. Upstairs, one board member stood. Good morning, the man said. His voice was calm. Not loud. Not angry. But strong. Thank you for coming on short notice, he continued. Today is important. He pressed a button. The screen changed. Photos appeared. Photos from yesterday. The lobby. The front desk. The manager talking. The receptionist rolling her eyes. Security standing close. Faces froze. Some board members looked confused. Some looked shocked. Sir, one board member said, what is this? The man looked at him. This, he said, is my building. Pause. This, he continued, is my team. Pause again. And this, he said softly, is how my people treat someone they think is nothing. The room stayed quiet. The man walked slowly around the table. When I started this company, he said, I had nothing. No office. No title. No respect. He stopped. But I had vision, he said. And I had patience. He turned to face them. Yesterday, he said, I walked into my own building. Some board members leaned forward. I did not wear a suit, he said. I did not show my name. He pointed to the screen. I show my reality. He clicked again. Video. Security camera footage. The receptionist ignoring him. The manager laughing. Workers whispering. The room changed. Faces turned serious. One board member shook his head. That is unacceptable, he said. The man nodded. It is, he replied. He turned off the screen. Downstairs, the elevator dinged. The manager jumped. The receptionist stood up fast. The doors opened. The man stepped out. But now, everyone knew. Whispers turned into fear. That's him. That's the owner. We messed up. The manager rushed forward. Sir, he said, voice shaking, I want to personally apologize. The man raised his hand. Not angry. Not rude. Just calm. Not yet, he said. He walked past them. Toward the open floor. All workers stopped. All eyes followed him. This is not about one apology, he said. It is about culture. He turned slowly. Yesterday, he said, you did not see a man. You saw clothes. You saw shoes. You saw a story you made in your head. Silence. The receptionist's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, she whispered. He looked at her. I believe you, he said. But sorry is not the lesson. He walked to the center of the room. My mother taught me one thing, he said. How you treat the lowest person is how you really are. He looked at the manager. You are in charge here, he said. What example did you set? The manager swallowed. I failed, he said quietly. The man nodded. Yes, he said. You did. The workers looked down. Some felt shame. Some felt fear. Some felt regret. I built this company on respect, the man said. Not on fear. Not on ego. Not on judging faces. He took a breath. Yesterday, he said, you failed that test. The room felt heavy. Then, his tone changed. Not softer, but deeper. Today, he said, you will face the result. The receptionist started crying. The manager looked like he might faint. Security stood still. No one moved. He looked at everyone. This is not revenge, he said. This is responsibility. He turned toward the manager. Come with me, he said. The manager followed. Every step felt loud. The man stopped near the glass office. The one with the best view. He opened the door. This office, he said, belongs to leadership. The manager nodded. Yes, sir. The man looked him in the eyes. Leadership is not a title, he said. It is behavior. Pause. Sit down, he said. The manager sat. The man stayed standing. This conversation, he said, will decide your future here. Down the hall. Workers waited. Hearts beating. Breathing slow. Because now, they understood. The poor man from yesterday was never poor. And the power they laughed at was standing right in front of them. The glass office felt heavy. The manager sat in the chair. The man stood near the window. City view behind him. Cars moving. People rushing. Life outside was normal. Inside this office, everything was about to change. The man turned slowly. You have worked here for 6 years, he said. The manager nodded. Yes, sir. You were trusted, the man said. You were given power. He paused. What did you do with it? The manager looked down. I try to protect the company, he said. The man stepped closer. By humiliating people, he asked calmly. Silence. That man yesterday, the man continued, pointing to himself. What did he do wrong? The manager swallowed. Nothing, he said. The man nodded. Then why was he treated like a problem? The manager's voice broke. I judged him, he said. I assumed that, the man said, is how companies rot from inside. He walked to the desk. Power shows who you really are, he said. Not your words. Your actions. He pressed a button on the phone. HR, he said. Please come to my office. Moments later, 2 HR officers entered. Serious faces. Yes, sir, one of them said. The man looked at the manager. This is not personal, he said. This is professional. He turned to HR. Effective immediately, he said. This manager is removed from his position. The room went silent. The manager's eyes went wide. Sir, he started. The man raised his hand. This is not a discussion, he said. The manager's shoulders dropped. Yes, sir, he whispered. Outside, word started to spread. Whispers moved fast. The manager is out. The owner removed him. It's real. In the open office, workers stood still. Fear mixed with hope. The man walked out of glass office. Everyone watched. He did not rush. He did not smile. He stood in the middle of the floor. I want everyone to listen, he said. All talking stopped. All keyboards went quiet. I did not come here to destroy lives, he said. I came here to fix a broken culture. He looked at the receptionist. Yesterday, he said, you saw a poor man. She nodded, tears in her eyes. Yes, sir. What if that man was a customer? He asked. She froze. What if that man was a partner? He asked. Her lips shook. What if that man was your future boss? He asked. She could not speak. That is why respect is not optional, he said. He turned to security. You followed orders, he said. But you forgot something. Security stood straight. Yes, sir. Your job is to protect, the man said. Not to judge. Security nodded. I understand, sir. He looked at the whole team. From today, he said, every person who walks through these doors will be treated with dignity. No matter how they dress. No matter how they speak. No matter where they come from. The room felt different now. Not fear. Responsibility. He turned back to HR. The receptionist will be placed on probation, he said. Mandatory training for respect and customer care. Yes, sir, HR replied. The receptionist cried softly. Thank you for another chance, she said. The man looked at her. Do not thank me, he said. Prove it. Then he looked at the workers. I am watching, he said. Not to punish. To protect the values of this company. One worker raised his hand slowly. Sir, he said, why did you come like that yesterday? The man paused. Because reports lie, he said. Numbers lie. Smiles lie. But behavior, he said, never lies. The room was quiet. He continued. I want to see who we really are. Some workers looked ashamed. Some looked inspired. Today, he said, you saw power. But yesterday, he said, you showed your character. He looked around one last time. This building is not made of glass, he said. It is made of people. And people, he said, deserve respect. He walked back toward his office. Behind him, the company felt different. Not perfect, but awake. The manager packed his things quietly. The receptionist wiped her tears. Workers whispered lessons to each other. And in the middle of it all, the man did not feel proud. He felt responsible. Because real ownership is not about control. It is about correction. And tomorrow, there would be one more lesson. For the one person who hurt the most, the building was quiet. Not the normal busy quiet. A deep quiet. Like everyone was thinking. Like everyone was feeling. The man stood in his office alone. City lights outside the window. Cars moving. Life going on. Inside his heart, he felt something heavy. Not anger. Not pride. Responsibility. A knock came at the door. Come in, he said. The receptionist stepped inside. Her eyes were red. Hands shaking. I just wanted to say sorry again, she said. He nodded. I heard you, he said. She looked down. I didn't see a man yesterday, she said. I saw clothes. I saw shoes. Tears fell. My father works 2 jobs, she said. He dresses simple. People treat him bad too. The man listened. Then you understand now, he said. She nodded. Yes, sir. Understanding is step 1, he said. Change is step 2. She wiped her face. I will change, she said. He nodded once. Good, he said. That is your karma. She left quietly. Another knock. Security entered. Sir, he said, the manager is asking to see you. One last time. The man thought for a moment. Send him in, he said. The former manager walked in. Not the same man from yesterday. Shoulders low. Eyes tired. I know I lost my job, the manager said. I deserve it. The man stayed quiet. But I want to say something, the manager continued. Yesterday, I thought power meant control, he said. Today, I see power means responsibility. He took a breath. I judged you, he said. And I judged others like you. The man looked at him. What do you think karma is? He asked. The manager paused. Getting what you give, he said. The man nodded. Yes, he said. But karma is also a teacher. The manager looked up. I will not give you your position back, the man said. The manager nodded. I understand. But the man continued, I will give you something else. Hope flashed in the manager's eyes. A chance to rebuild, the man said. He handed him a paper. A referral to a partner company, he said. Lower position. Fresh start. The manager's hand shook. Why, he asked. The man's voice was calm. Because I was once judged too, he said. And someone gave me a second chance. The manager's eyes filled. Thank you, he said. Do not thank me, the man said. Earn it. The manager left. The man stood alone again. He walked to the window. He thought about his past. About sleeping in cars. About being ignored. About being laughed at. He whispered softly, this is not revenge. This is healing. Later that day, the workers gathered. The man stood in front of them. Not as a boss. As a leader. I want to leave you with one truth, he said. Money can buy buildings. Titles can buy fear. But respect, he said, is earned every day. He looked around. You never know who is standing in front of you, he said. Today they look small. Tomorrow, he said, they may own the room. Some workers smiled. Some wiped tears. This company will be known for one thing, he said. Not just success, but humanity. He stepped back. Applause started. Slow, then stronger. Not forced. Real. Later, as he walked out of the building, people looked at him differently. Not with fear. With respect. Outside the same street. The same air. But he felt lighter. Not because he won. Because he taught. He got into his car. The driver asked, where to, sir? He looked back at the building one last time. Forward, he said, because his story was not about clothes. Not about shoes. Not about money. It was about something bigger. Character. And in the end, the building did not just learn who owned it. They learned what kind of man owned it.